My name is Natalie and I have an interview with a member of the band Ruthless on February 10th, 2015. First of all, can you introduce yourself, saying who you are and what do you do in the band?
Okay, I'm the vocalist of the band. I'm Sammy D, and I'm excited to be talking to you.
Great. Can you give those of us who aren't familiar with Ruthless a brief history of the band, and can you describe the sound that you guys, play for those who may have not have heard of you before?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a what's called today, I guess, is called true metal. Is what it's called, and back in the 80s it was just called heavy metal, but now it's called true metal, but because there's so many different genres of it, but it's like Priest, except Saxon, bands like that.
Why did you want to go with calling yourselves Ruthless? What does the name actually refer to?
Well, we were a bunch of crazy guys when we started the band, and basically it's just stuck with us. We just went through a bunch of different names, and we put a bunch of names into a hat that just kept coming out. Actually, into a baseball cap, and that name just kept coming out, and Ruthless stuck, and that's, like I said, that's the style of music it is. It's just powerful. No mercy, and that's the name of the first album, Metal Without Mercy.
I get it. Cool. Your new album, They Rise, is said to be called like a reunion album. So were you guys on break or hiatus? What happened?
Well, it's not. We really don't call it a reunion album. It's just we got back together. Kenny and I did with we got a message from an email from Oliver Wessenheimer from the Keep It True Festival and all those festivals in Germany, and he asked us if we could get back together, and this was like in '08, and he asked us if we could get back together to play his festival, and the offer was good and everything, and I talked to Kenny, and he went and he contacted our original bass player Jack Black, and the three of us got back together, and a very good friend of ours, Jim Durkin from Dark Angel, played the other guitar, and we got ourselves a drummer hooked into the band, and went and did that festival, came back and did a couple other shows, and then just kind of really didn't feel it at the time, and Kenny and I got back together and started writing. I was doing a local thing and stuff, and Kenny and I started writing and last year, and we brought in his brother Mark McGee, who does play bass for us now, and we had a friend of ours, Jason Van Slyke, who's the drummer. We brought him down, and everything just clicked, and we weren't even going to call it Ruthless. We were going to call it something else. And then we brought in Dave Watson, the other guitar player, and we started writing, just really writing, and everybody, we looked at each other one day and go, you know what? This is Ruthless. Why call it anything else? The band has a legacy to it. The name has a legacy to it, and let's just give our fans something that we feel, some unfinished business. And it clicked. But no, I don't call it a reunion thing. I just call it, it's just a continuing.
It's taken you guys, I'd say, about almost 30 years to release this album since your last album came out. Why such a long time to get this one out there?
Well, we split up back in '89 and went our own ways. I was more getting into the thrash metal scene, so I went and formed myself a thrash metal band and did that for a couple of years. Kenny went and joined his brother in a band called Twist of Fate, and they hung out. Was an LA band called Twist of Fate, and they did that for a little bit, and then basically I got tired of playing after a while. It wasn't just nothing really. LA was horrible. The metal scene out here was horrible, and just kind of stopped playing for a while, and then we got back together. Kenny and I got back together in 2001, I think it was, and we formed a band, local band called Scarred. And they still have one original member, their guitar player John Toscano. He's a really good guitar player. We formed that band, and it's just Ruthless. Ruthless just had been, not even on our minds for quite a while. And we just thought, well, when we talk about it, it would just be, well, should we do it or should we not do it? And then didn't want to do it without this person, didn't want to do it without that person, and then it just came down to where it was just me and Kenny, and we said, you know what? We formed the band, let's do it, And we've got a great lineup. This is the best lineup that this band has ever had. And we're very happy with everything.
Great. I hope it keeps, going well for you guys.
Oh, I think it will. Like I said, the guys are fantastic. And we have a very good chemistry, not only in the studio and everything, but on stage. It's like we've been playing together for 30 years. I mean, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome.
When did you start writing for this album, and how was the songwriting process? Was it different or similar to previous albums, or you wouldn't say so?
Well, I would say that in certain ways it was similar, because Kenny would come up with an idea, and I would throw out some vocals to it or something. But what happened here is that we just got together and started writing some stuff. The title cut, actually, They Rise, came out of our first jams together. It was one of the first songs that we were just jamming along, and it clicked into a song, and we're going, wow, this sounds cool, let's keep it going. And basically, most of the stuff is a collaboration of everybody now. It's a little different than it was in the past.
How would you describe the overall sound of this album? How does it compare to your last release?
Well, it's, I think, a lot heavier. I think it has a little bit more of a thrashier tunes, thrashier style to it. But that could be because the fact is that I have that in my veins. I love that music, and Dave Watson played with Hyrax for a while and stuff, so I think that's where it's coming from, and we just wanted to kind of, give ourselves a little bit, keep it ruthless but update it a little bit, and that's, I guess you could basically see where everything's coming from. And
what does the album mean to all of you guys?
It means the world. It's a great album. We feel that we've accomplished something that we thought that Kenny and I thought was actually lost. And when we started writing again, the magic was still there, and it's continuing now because we're already starting to write for the next CD. We're just thrilled with it. They Rise is already, the pre-sales for it were great. They've already had good sales for it, and it's only been out 1 week, and we're just happy to be able to continue the Ruthless legacy and let our fans hear something new that we're proud of, and we hope they're proud of it too.
What do you guys have planned for this year? Any shows, touring, or just writing new music, or what's the deal?
Well, I'll tell you, we do have shows planned. We don't have any dates yet. Our booking agent's kind of working on that stuff, and he hasn't gotten us any dates yet, but he does. But we do know that we will be covering as much of the U.S. as we can this year. We're going out of country once, and we're going to Germany in July and playing Headbangers Open Air. And then like I said, we'll cover the U.S. this year, and then the rest of the world next year. But we're planning on playing quite a bit.
And is there anything else you would like to say, or you want to add or promote?
Well, I'd like to say that people can look us up on Ruthless on ruthlessmetal.com. That's all one word, the Ruthless Metal. And that's our website. And you can also get us on Instagram now. And also on Facebook, which is kind of fading out with everybody anyways. But on Facebook is Ruthless Metal USA, 3 words on Facebook. There is another Facebook that one of our older drummers, and that's the reason why we're putting it that way. And he so nobody gets confused and goes to his page. He's got a page dedicated to himself as like a shrine. So, but no, and I just want to say thank you to you, Natalie, and that let the U.S. and the rest of the world know that Ruthless is back and we're on the attack.